Welcome everyone to Toonhounds, your fortnightly foray into all things animated. I'm Rich Masters, and with me as always is the rat to my kitchen, Spivsy.
Does that mean I work inside of you?
Well, I don't know. Or you're an absolute vermin that needs to be removed. We'll let the audience decide.
Call up now. Cast your vote.
Press 1 for Spivsy is a vermin. So, we're doing rats this week.
Rats.
We could have gone there's a lot of rat-related cartoons.
There is. Yeah. We went with kitchen rats. We could have watched
We went with kitchen rats.
We could have watched Star Trek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we didn't. We picked Ratatouille, the Pixar classic. Is it Pixar?
Yeah, it's Pixar. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Pixar. It's hard to remember which one's a Pixar now and which one's a Disney.
Yeah, I forget if Brave is or not. I think it is.
I've never seen Brave.
It's pretty good. It's all right.
I know it's got the woman from Trainspotting does the main voice.
Yeah.
Never remember her name, who I really like, who's in a load of other stuff that I really like as well. That was the most boring tangent we've ever done on this show. Couldn't even remember any of the details.
Didn't know a thing.
And I'm far too lazy to check it as well. So if audience and you, I suppose, if you hear me doing this like that a lot, I have strep throat. So and it's kind of. If someone asked me if it was that razor blade COVID, no, it's definitely strep throat.
Razor COVID just makes it sounds like a wrestler.
razor
COVID.
His special move is the chest hug.
Oh no!
Where you can't breathe. So we did Ratatouille, arguably one of the greatest Pixar films ever made.
Yeah, it's the best one.
And Ratatoing. Arguably a film.
Well, yeah, arguably.
It's not feature length.
Minutes long.
What do you have to be to classify for feature length?
70, I think.
70, yeah.
Yeah. Or is that CDs?
Oh, I don't know.
Anyway. How long a CD is? I don't know.
I mean, to its credit, Ratatouille did feel about 2.5 hours long.
Oh, God, it did, yeah. Yeah.
So, should we talk about really poor Brazilian-made Disney rip-offs?
Yeah, let's talk about mockbusters. I love them. They're so shit.
The first one I ever saw was back when JonTron wasn't a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And I watched the Titanic one, the one with the dogs. Yeah. So funny.
The Adventure Continues.
So
is
funny.
That what it was called?
Yeah. The Adventure Continues.
Yeah.
And I watched it, and it was so funny, but it was so shit. It was like The Room, but animated.
Yeah, some of them are really funny. Like, and I can never tell if it's intentional or not, because I love asylum films.
Yeah,
where they do like Transmorphers.
Yeah,
and when they made that Titanic horror movie. Some of them are just absolute garbage, but they're so fun. I just really enjoy them. I think I enjoy the ones more that aren't an original piece, where it's like them trying to literally rip off a film. Where they've started the production as soon as the poster comes out, so they've got no idea what the actual content of the film is.
Right, yeah.
Those are my favourites, because it's there, but they're so off base. They get so much stuff wrong. I just think it's hysterical. I think that's what Ratatouille was. They saw a poster and said, well, we've got 4 weeks to make a movie. I think the budget was like 75 grand against Pixar's budget of about 150 million. So with that context, they didn't do too bad.
No, and it explains why the films are not even lasting 40 minutes in most instances. But this studio was called Video Brinquedo. Yeah. Toyland Video. Do you want me to read their other mockbusters?
I know that they did. Did they do What's Up? Was that them?
Yeah, Balloon to the Rescue.
Yeah, and they did, what's it called, like Little Monsters? Little Monsters Big Aliens or something?
Little and Big Monsters.
Yeah, because it was a Monsters vs. Aliens ripoff. And I know that one because they had a character in it called Frederico when they first made the film, but then they found out there actually was a character called Fred in Monsters vs. Aliens. So they couldn't use the name Fred because it would be too close to it and they'd get sued. because there's all these different rules about what they can and can't do.
Right.
So they changed the name to something like Gulo or Guto, I think.
Right.
But it was last minute, so they Control F replaced the script and changed all instances of Fred to Gulo or Guto. Right. But occasionally they would call the character Frederico in the script, so they changed it all to Gularico.
Oh no.
And they just said it in the script. So in the finished film, every so often they call him Gularico. That's his name now.
Wow. I mean that is just quality.
Brilliant.
Let me read you the list of studio what did I say they were called? Video Brincado films. The Little Cars in the Big Race. I wonder what that one is.
That one. The entire film, they only made one set. It's like a 30-foot sized piece of asphalt that the entire movie takes place on.
Wow.
Yeah.
Then you've got Ratatouille. Then you've got Gladiformers.
Gladiformers? Is that meant to be
Transformers? It hasn't even got a wiki. On the Mockbuster wiki, it hasn't even got an entry. It's got a link to a dead page.
That's really
Then
fun.
you've got Little B, which must be...
That's B-movie.
B-movie.
Yeah, which I believe came out a full 2 years after B-movie was released.
Wow. Then you've got... They obviously worked really hard on that one.
Yeah.
They released Ratatouille, Gladiformers and Little B in the same year. That's how prolific they are. Then you've got The Little Panda Fighter. I wonder which one that is based on. Then you've got Tiny...
They've probably done that on Heroes 3, haven't they? Because they did a special on Kung Fu Panda rip-offs, Panda exploitation films.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Matt telling... I haven't heard that one.
No.
I haven't listened to that one. I wonder if Carlos and Matt did that one. Because there's a lot of them. There's a lot of Kung Fu Panda rip-offs.
Yeah.
Then you've got Tiny Robots.
They can't have been doing robots, surely. The DreamWorks
It's a Wall-E
movie.
rip-off.
Oh, it's Wall-E. I was going to say that would be a weird one for them to try and rip off. Nobody cared about the original.
I am going to... hold on, I'm going to send you the link so that you can have a look at the character designs on the thing.
Okay.
Because it possibly is the worst thing I've ever seen.
Are they all like
Worst
lumpy?
part. They're really bad. Oh, wait, it just comes up.
It's loading. I've just got a grey square.
Okay.
Let me try opening it. Oh! I think I've seen people talk about this on Tumblr before.
It's really bad.
It's really bad. Look
at the purple dickhead robot in the background.
It's cubics.
Yeah. So then you got Gladiformers 2, so it must have been so good it got a sequel.
The movie's so nice they made it twice. I wonder how much different I wonder, because I know that What's Up is meant to be the sequel to that Little Big Monsters. They just got ripped off a completely separate film, but it's meant to be a direct sequel. So I wonder if Gladiformers 2 is a different film that they're ripping off.
Might be.
That would be fun.
Then you had, after Gladiformers 2, you had Little and Big Monsters, What's Up, Balloon to the Rescue, and then The Frog Prince. They didn't even bother covering that one up.
No.
It hasn't got a picture. It's just got a title card on the article.
That's great.
Video Brincado.
I read an interview somebody had with one of the people who worked on Ratatoing. The studio doesn't exist anymore; it's gone defunct. But they had an interview with a bunch of people who did animated mockbusters, and he basically said, "I got the job straight out of university. I needed something on my CV. They paid me $4 per second of animation, and I needed to pay the rent." And that's they asked him, "Are you proud of the work that you put in, and do you think it was a good film?" And he said, "I'm proud of the work I put in, but no, it wasn't a good film. Nothing we ever made was any good. It was all terrible." So I'm glad that they actually had the self-awareness to know that Ratatouille was really, really bad. But I mean, he said, "I just needed money. I needed to pay the rent."
Yeah,
fair enough.
I can understand that.
Yeah,
I can understand lots of jobs that people take because they need the money, and there's absolutely no shame.
Yeah, but the thing is, $4 per. I'm assuming it was converted. That's like way, way, way below industry standard at the time. Like people were making like 115 per second of animation, up to like $2,000, depending on like what they were doing. So to
Yeah,
get $4 for it, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy work
per second
Yeah.
as well, and there's not a lot of animation in these products as well. So most of it is just moving lips without any of the other bits of the frame moving.
Yeah. There's one of the films, I think it's in Little Big Monsters, where they were talking about this in the interview. They were told to drop the budget even further, so to not have too many like moving parts going on. Like they needed to get rid of a couple of walk cycles and get some action scenes so they could actually afford to make the movie. So there's a scene where a character says, "I can't bear to look," and closes his eyes, and the screen goes black. So they didn't have to animate anything.
Wow.
Yeah.
Should we get further into
what is the plot?
The masterpiece?
The deep plot of Ratatouille, of the story of Marcel Toing.
I think like the thing. So let's talk about the plot basically, because there is a basic plot.
It's very basic.
There's a restaurant called Ratatouille, and that's named after the head chef Marcel Toing.
Yeah.
What a stupid name.
Really stupid name. Yeah. He's a French rat who lives in. Is it Sao Paulo that they're meant to be in?
It's Rio.
Is it Rio?
This is one of the things that bugs me the most. It's like, the city of wonder, the city that is a city.
They say that like a million times.
And they never say Rio.
No,
just say Rio de Janeiro.
Yeah.
That's obviously what you're going for, because it's got the Christ the Redeemer statue, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has it in the opening credits, yeah. And then the entire film takes place indoors.
Yeah.
The entire movie. We never even see a window.
There is one scene where they go outside the restaurant into the street to discuss what to do.
Is there?
When they're arguing.
Yeah.
When the spies are arguing.
Yeah. I've forgotten about that bit.
Basically, they have Ratatouille is a good restaurant. Yeah. Who knows why? Because all the food looks terrible. And all the food is just...
For the whole first 15 minutes of the film, we're told repeatedly, it's a fantastic restaurant. The food is so amazing. Marcel Toing is a genius. I want to eat anything that he will prepare for me. This is a good restaurant. It's a good restaurant. It's a good restaurant. It's a good restaurant. It's a good. Like they're just drilling it into the audience's head that this is a good restaurant. We don't need to show you that it's a good restaurant because we're just going to tell you over and over and over again. And then occasionally we'll cut to Marcel Toing stirring a pot over and over again because that's the kitchen. He's just got a pot and they make food there.
Jesus.
It's just a pot.
It's so bad. I'm going to see if there is a script.
I tried to find it. I couldn't find one. All I could find were fake ones that people putting on parody websites.
I did see a really good parody one where it's like, get your bitch ass over here and take my order. Yeah. It is genuinely, for the first, I think it's 7 minutes of the film.
Yeah.
People going back and forth about how the restaurant is good and the food is quality, and what does he do with this food? What is the special ingredient? Can we talk to the chef? No, you can't talk to the chef. Excuse me, miss, I would like to order. What is the food here about? Why is it so good? It's so delicious. I've always been told to come here. And it is told in that monotone as well. No one has any inflection to their voice.
And all of the women rats, for some reason, apart from Carol, the main character, they all sort of talk like this.
Oh yeah, they've got that a high society English
it's
affectation.
Really weird.
Oh please, Jeremy, won't you get me an apple to eat, please?
I'd love to eat an apple.
Oh, it's the most wonderful restaurant of the season.
What does that mean?
I don't know. But that is the sort of thing I could imagine being in the script.
Yeah, we've got a eclectic cast of characters where we've got four spies, one of which has got a fake mustache on. I assume. I think it's fake. I can't tell if it's fake or just bad. The two women and another guy who I thought he was meant to be like an old man, but I don't know. He seemed like he was meant to be an old man archetype. They're spies from a different restaurant who are trying to learn why the food at Ratatouille is so fantastic. And the entire staff of Ratatouille are three characters. Marcel Toing, who is our leader, our hero, who is very clearly, they saw the poster for Ratatouille and saw a blue rat with a chef's hat on and said, all right, he's our main character. His name's probably Ratatouille. Why would they name the movie something that wasn't the main character's name? So we'll call our movie Ratatouille and his name is Marcel Toing. Part of me wonders, did they know what Ratatouille was?
No, they did not.
No.
They did not. Because it's a very French peasant dish, isn't it?
Yeah. I didn't know what it was before the movie came out.
Really?
No. I mean, the movie came out when I was 16, so I don't think I was.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't, really into French cuisine at that age.
Well, I had Ratatouille.
Yeah.
Mainly because it's quite an easy thing to do when you've got veg left over in the fridge, right?
Yeah.
So but it's if some people don't know, my parents were, even though my mother doesn't eat vegetables at all, she only eats potatoes and peppers and raw carrot. She was, because I think she got a bit of a food phobia, but
what is it?
She was really
the older generation not eating food with anything in it.
I have no idea.
Is it just is it just the war? Like they had to boil all their potatoes to get rid of the gout?
Possibly.
It must
be. Because I think that you get it from your parents, right?
Yeah.
So, she was very keen that we had lots of veg and stuff. She cooked stuff that she didn't eat, which is wild to me.
Yeah.
Because we don't cook anything we don't eat.
Like my mum would just eat potatoes for the rest of her life.
Yes.
Subsists on a diet of unsalted potato.
But our generation are far more I'd say our generation are far more willing to try new things.
Yeah, we're a
bit
bit more adventurous. Yeah.
If there's a new restaurant that opens and it is, especially if it is a new cuisine, like an Ethiopian restaurant opens up, I'm right in there. I'm I need to taste what this is about.
You're like the guy out of the Yakuza games who goes to every single restaurant and eats everything on the menu and gets points for it.
I would do that.
You've got a list, a checklist. You go down to every single restaurant in the city.
When we go back to London, we tend to stay with my friend Rupesh a lot and his husband Stu. And essentially we just go there and we say, what is new? What can we try that is new? And I'm not even exaggerating by that. And that's why I used the Ethiopian thing. We went to get some Ethiopian food last time we were there, and they have this weird spongy bread. I say weird, it's weird to me. It's not weird to them, obviously. But it's basically a bread that you basically use as a utensil.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
It's almost got the consistency of a crumpet. I'm aware that this is a very British thing to be saying. A crumpet. And you tear a bit off and you use it as sort of a grabber.
That's
essentially
great.
To grab some food and get a lot of everything and then mop up some sauce and put it in. It was delicious.
That's genius because you don't have to do the washing up.
No, and it's all served on a tray. Yeah. So it's it's got that sort of Indian thali feel to it where it's lots of little things that you get. But the bread is fermented, and when I ate way too much of this bread, and then I felt I had constant trapped gas in my body for about 4 hours afterwards. But it was delicious. It was so good.
Yeah. They're not making that at Ratatouille.
I mean, part of it's impossible to talk about this at the moment without talking about Ratatouille.
Yeah.
But part of what makes Ratatouille so good is its celebration of food.
Yeah.
And Ratatouille doesn't capture that at all.
No, they're eating garbage. They're eating
garbage and mealworms.
Yeah.
Even though they go into the neighbouring restaurant to steal food, which is, again, an antithesis of what Ratatouille is about.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, there was the jokes that they're making about, rats eat garbage. Both films do it, but Ratatouille does it in a much more palatable way, in the way that it actually is.
Oh, very good pun.
Yeah, thank you. It's actually relevant to the script as well, where it actually makes sense while they're doing it. But there's a joke at the start where there's a fly in the guy's food, and it's a 20-minute build-up to the actual joke of there's a fly in my soup, and him. That's not the reason he was upset. It's because it was the wrong kind of cheese. But it's waiter, there's something in my soup. Come here, waiter. Look at my soup, waiter. There's something here. What's this? What could this be? Then the waiter slowly cycles over, his ass shaking all over the place to have a look at the soup. And he goes, "What's this? What's in your soup? What's going on here? There's something in my soup. It's the wrong kind of cheese." And it's the joke just takes a plummet off a cliff. It's terrible.
Well, the thing is, I didn't even get that it was supposed to be a joke.
No, it was so bad.
Because it was so bad. Also, it leads to the biggest contradiction in this scene where, like, someone is complaining about the cheese. Like, why would you eat that cheese? That's disgusting. Oh, Ratatouille is the best restaurant I've ever been to.
Yeah.
What?
It's so weird. It's so weird. And through the basic plot of the thing, we find out that the three people who work at Ratatouille, Greg, who is voiced by the guy who voices Dr. Eggman now, weirdly.
Wow.
Yeah. Marcel Toing and Carol.
Oh, what about there is another one. There is the waiter.
Yeah, who doesn't... I don't think they get
who comes
a name.
in halfway through the film, who doesn't have a name.
Yeah, they must have had an extra character model laying around.
Yeah, that they forgot about.
Yeah. So, oh shit.
Because Carol was the original wait. I assume Carol was the maitre d'.
Yeah. The naked maitre d'. They needed to give us some clothes. It was ridiculous. Like, don't make your rats walk around like that. It's unbecoming.
But plot twist. It's like the whole Candy Kong thing, isn't it? She had to have clothes because
it'd be weird otherwise. Yeah,
it'd be weird otherwise. But shock horror, the four people who are most verbose about the praise of Ratatouille, and try and talk to whatever the fucking guys, Marcel about Toing. And try and get his secrets, are actually spies from another restaurant that we never see. Trying to get the secrets. And it's, spoilers, just the secrets is they get food from the restaurant next door. Yeah,
the secret ingredient is literally just having food.
Yeah, the secret ingredient is food.
And they get one strawberry when they go on a little mission to find some food and put strawberry into all of their meals.
Yeah, and then they say, oh, it's terrible. We could only get that one strawberry. Why could you only get that one strawberry?
Yeah, they got one strawberry, then left. There wasn't even anybody there stopping them. The cat wasn't there yet.
No, it wasn't.
The only thing that happens is Greg leans on a light switch and it turns the fan on, and he starts spinning around for about 15 minutes. That must have been like the entire budget on that spinning. Yeah,
because you never see a character spin around. They only move in horizontals and verticals.
Yeah, and occasionally they don't cast shadows, which is really funny.
No. Even though the pre-rendered models definitely do have shadows.
Yeah.
The weird Splinter Cell Matrix White Room transformation scene where they get changed into their spy gear.
Yeah. What was that about?
I don't know. To raid the restaurant.
Yeah. And it's doing like whoosh noises and they're on a completely white background. Then occasionally they'll start running around.
They'll run in opposite directions.
And they do it 3 times.
Yeah. In the film.
Yeah.
And it's not only just 3 times this scene in the film, they do this 3 times running in the first sequence when they're getting changed.
Yeah, it's really weird.
I don't understand why they needed to get into this. I mean, if they can do this, why are they running a restaurant?
Yeah.
Why aren't they robbing banks?
They've clearly not got no qualms with, theft. So it should be like a bad cat situation.
Yeah,
bad rat.
I hasten to say it, but bad rat, bad cat, whatever he was called, did have a better story than this.
It had a story.
It was awful. It had that's true. It had a story. It had more of a story. Whether or not it was better is debatable. Yeah. Actually, it's not. Bad rat, cat, whatever it's called, was so bad.
Can we let me fast forward a bit through the film to get to my favourite part of the entire movie. Okay. So it's about the halfway mark where the spies decide to make it so that the humans will leave rat traps around so they won't be able to go and steal all the food. They do this by doing the can, going ha, 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 running around, doing little dances and going ooh, 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 for about 6 minutes. It just keeps going and going and going. And it is the funniest thing. It is so
stupid.
So strange.
It's not even singing. It's kind of like a weird chant they're doing, like a reverse rain dance.
Yeah, and there's no music. There's no music to it. They just sort of like wiggling their arms around, doing the can. We don't see any of the humans around actually reacting to any of this stuff. So when they were first doing it, I didn't know what the context was. No. Because they don't lead up to it with saying we'll freak out the humans and then they'll leave rat traps around, and then that'll be.
Or even doing the whole "I've got an idea" and then cut into the next scene.
Yeah, they don't do any of that. It just goes to the scene with them dancing in a restaurant, which doesn't look like a restaurant because we're at ground level and there's no patterning on the floor or tables or anything. No. It's just 4 rats freaking out in an empty space.
Yeah, there's no context clues or anything. Do you know what I find the weirdest thing about not just this scene, but this whole production in general, which you don't really notice with other films because of its presence?
Yeah.
Sound effects and music really do make a scene.
They do,
right?
Yeah.
When they're absent, it is the strangest thing. So when you go into the kitchen, you see Marcel stirring things. There's no noises of cooking.
No, there shouldn't be bubbling.
Spoon clanging against the cauldron that he's cooking in. There's nothing. Also, he's only got this cauldron. How is he cooking multiple different meals?
Yeah, I don't get it. Yeah.
It's like they've never been in a kitchen.
No. Maybe they haven't. Maybe they think, well, this is how a rat would do it.
Yeah. Which... So part of the real magic of Ratatouille is like...
There... I was just thinking now, is there some like promotional material from Ratatouille before it was released, which was like the silhouette of the rats, you know, with the chef's hat on, with the toque on? Is there one where he's cooking in a pot, where he's stirring a pot?
Well, it's interesting because the sign at the end of Ratatouille, where they open the Ratatouille, La Ratatouille, is Remy in a chef's hat stirring in a cauldron.
I thought he was just holding a big spoon.
I thought he was stirring in a cauldron. But maybe it's just my...
Are you getting Mandela affected?
Maybe.
Let me I'll just do Ratatouille logo. See what comes up. See if there's a picture of it. It's just him holding a spoon.
Ah.
The La Ratatouille.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I've seen it here because you can get signs that you can hang on your own wall. Why you would do that?
She loved Ratatouille, I suppose.
Yeah. Why you would do that? Why you would get a sign, because you can get them for sale. Why you would get a sign that is
like one that you stick outside
sign.
Your house.
That's like that is those. So right, I'm going to say something here. Adults who are super into Disney, are weird.
Super into it, yeah. The ones who are like, with the only place we would ever go on holiday to Disneyland.
Yeah, and they have like everything, like a Disney pencil case, a Disney cup, a Disney calendar. I'm sorry, that's really weird.
Yeah. I feel like if you're going to be into things, be into multiple things. Don't be into one thing.
Yeah, like me.
Yeah. Be into everything.
I'm into pins, I'm into Lego, I'm into statuary, I'm into comics. It's all very one theme, but it's not like... So, nothing in my... Unless you go elsewhere in my house, you wouldn't know I was into stuff like this, I don't think.
Yeah.
Like, if you check the bookcases, you're going to know. But if you're in the kitchen, you don't know I collect comics. Yeah. If you're in the living room, you don't know I collect comics.
That's the healthy thing, is to have a special room where you hide all of your freaky
personality.
Shit.
What you've described is a sex dungeon as well.
Sex dungeon, Lego room.
Yeah, whatever. It's all the same. It's just a different kind of obsession, right?
Is there any Ratatouille Lego? Because that would be pretty good if you could get a Gusteau's.
Not yet. I don't think there is. There might be a Brickhead. Ratatouille Lego. No,
that's a shame.
Because you can get like the Snow White and Seven Dwarfs cottage. You can get the Up House, which is really, really good.
Yeah, I quite like the Seven Dwarf cottage. I think it looks quite good.
Oh, there is a... Hold on. There is something. It was one of the Lego ideas. I'm going to send you this because it's really cool. Hold on. I have to... Oh, for God's sake. I can't just link the image. I have to save it and then attach it.
That's really annoying.
Of course I do. Where did it save? No, it's not saving. Fuck you. Hold on. If I... do this. It's like a little, for everyone who is listening, obviously, because this is not just me and Spiffy having a conversation. It's like a replication of Gusteau's kitchen, and it's got a little rat and linguine, and it's really good. Although it does look like he's wearing fishnet stockings.
He does a bit, yeah. Sexy linguine.
It does look great. It looks really good. Um,
I'd like that one.
So, but
I'm talking about Lego
happens?
now. We're getting into Lego because fuck this movie. We're talking about Lego now. Have you seen that? Potentially, the other people who are doing the Star Trek modelling stuff have lost
Blue Brick. Yeah,
they've lost their thingy for it, and we might be getting Lego next year. We might be getting Lego Star Trek. I mean, I hope so.
We're definitely getting at least a Enterprise D was the rumour.
Yeah.
Because Blue Brick's lost it beginning of this year, and Lego were going to do... I think I posted it. There was a Enterprise D with the whole cast, including Guinan. Which was great. Yeah. But I think they're going to get a license, which is, I mean, it's terrifying for me.
Yeah,
absolutely fucking terrifying.
I mean, as long as they don't do like, it was Eagle Moss who used to do all the ships.
Yeah.
If we don't get like an Eagle Moss level of new ships, I think it'd be fine. But I wouldn't be disappointed if they did like the mini kit things that they do for Star Wars ships.
Mm-hmm.
Like the little tiny
microfighters,
ones. Yeah, the microfighters. If we could get them for Star Trek ships, that would be fantastic. I would love that.
You could do microfighters with like shuttlecraft and stuff like that. Yeah, that would be great. Yeah. You don't need a full scale shuttle like I can't remember what the classes of the shuttle are now. But you don't need a full class shuttle like a Galileo shuttle.
Because I would hope with Star Trek being such a massive franchise that there would be a demand for it. So they wouldn't be like losing loads of money by making all of these little ships and nobody buying them. I think there's enough people out there who like Star Trek enough to want to buy the ships.
Oh, and Star Trek people have been like deprived of decent merchandise for a really long time. And Paramount need to make money because they're cancelling all their Star Trek shows for some reason. But I would want I'd want each of the main ships and the main crews.
Yeah.
Up to Enterprise.
Yeah.
I don't know if I need a Discovery or a Strange New Worlds ship.
They definitely would.
They would do that.
Yeah.
But like, at minimum, I'd want the Enterprise D and either a Defiant or a Deep Space Nine.
Yeah. $3,000 Deep Space Nine.
Well,
with like
do you know what I imagine
characters.
they would do? They would do... Because the thing is, they would do ships and then they would do scenes. So you'd get a 10 forward and you'd get a... bridge and you'd get a transporter room, right?
Yeah, a war room.
Because there's no point in having a holodeck unless they do that technology that they did the design in Doctor Strange's Sanctum Sanctorum, where you can change the walls behind doors.
Yeah.
So you could change what the holodeck looked like. But that would be really, really difficult to do in a full-scale set. But I wouldn't want a full-scale Deep Space Nine. I'd want the Defiant.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I'd want like Quark's Bar.
Yeah.
And Odo's office.
Or the command bridge. Yeah.
What's it called?
I don't remember.
Ops.
Ops. Yeah.
Yeah. That would be great.
Yeah,
that would be absolutely phenomenal. I don't need every type of ship.
No, I wouldn't want them full size unless the Star Trek Lego series got Star Wars level popular, where there was actually like a reason for them to making them. Because otherwise, I feel like if they started making all of the ships and nobody was buying them, they're going to end up being taken off the market really quickly and then cost like £800 on eBay. And I don't want that.
I still haven't put together my X-Men mansion.
Yeah.
It's sitting in the box. And I'm just thinking to myself, should I just keep it in the box?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I think, nah, I'm not. I'm going to build it. But the problem with the X-Men mansion is it's only 2 floors. And it's really squat and it looks really silly. And in all the pictures of the X-Men mansion, it's 3 floors.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking,
so you've got to buy 2 of them and then you can make another floor.
No. I was thinking I could go to find a mock online and go to Bricklink and buy the extra pieces, and it'd be dirt cheap.
Yeah.
But I've not seen a mock I love yet. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're not far off a Ratatouille set, because there's an Up set, there's a Lilo and Stitch set, there's like Simba. They're doing Cruella de Vil's car this year.
Oh, really? I like that. That's cool.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
They've done the Moana 2 chicken. Hey.
Yeah.
Hi. They've done the Disney Castle. They've done the Pixar lamp with the ball.
Yeah. It would be quite nice to get a Ratatouille set. I feel like Ratatouille is one of those that they kind of shoved aside for a long while.
Yeah.
Like they didn't really. Yeah, because Remy sort of like shows up in video games a lot now, in like the additional merchandising things like the games and apps and stuff like that. But as a character, like in general, I don't know if they really talk about Remy that much compared to other Pixar.
Is he in Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's in the third one. Yeah, he runs a restaurant in the in Twilight Town, and you do cooking mini games with him.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but they always call it in every iteration of him where he shows up as a character in something else. He exists the way he exists to the humans in the movie, so he doesn't talk. He just sort of like nods and shakes his head.
That's quite cool, actually. That makes sense.
Yeah, and they all call him Little Chef as well. Like nobody calls him Remy.
I love when Linguini calls him Little Chef because he obviously can't explain what his name is. It's very sweet. He kept calling him Little Chef, and when he was apologising to him in the film, I was like, "That's really cute. It's just really good."
Should we just stop talking about Ratatouille and Lego and talk about the good movie?
Yeah, because Ratatouille just ends with let's just do the end.
Yeah,
They go into the kitchen to steal more food. The main characters, they almost get accosted by the cat, but Marcel,
the freaky homunculus cat.
Yeah, he's square. He's like a goblin.
Yeah, running on hind legs.
But basically, Marcel and the cat come to an off-screen agreement. In that he'll let him steal stuff. It's just such a bad moral in order to get a free meal once a week. So it's just like protection racket, essentially.
Yeah. Nobody learns anything.
Nobody learns anything. Yeah. And we don't even hear what happens to the other restaurant. Does it go out of business?
Well, they're there. They're at the restaurant eating.
Why?
They just went back. Sense. I know. They have to have already done the set and had the characters in the set. And then they just put the cat in there as well, and they didn't remove any of the other characters. Yeah, I think that's what happened.
Yeah. They just used the same scene. Yeah, just replaced overlaid the cat. It's just it is pretty awful. It's just wank. It's such a bad film. It's
really bad.
It's a contender for worst thing we've watched by a country mile.
Yeah,
it's worse than Rhapsody Street Kids.
One of the big problems with it is that it's bad, but it's boring. Because nothing can move, so they didn't have to animate too much.
Yeah, it's not just boring. It's like dull to look at. It's boring on so many different levels, is what I mean. It's boring because it has no sound or music or like diegetic SFX. It doesn't have any movement to it. It all feels static. It's like you're playing with toys. It also doesn't move beyond 2 scenes.
Yeah.
So it's boring to look at. None of the characters move in a fluid way. Like, it's one of my big things about Ratatouille is that like it's really fluid. The animation is really, really fluid.
It's very cartoony.
But it's just Ratatouille is shit. It's
a bad
just
movie.
Shit. I
it's
can't
not even
really go beyond.
It's not even bad in like a funny way. It's just bad.
It's just bad.
Yeah, I don't recommend watching Ratatouille.
No, it genuinely one of the shittest things we've ever watched. Like I'm speaking for Spiffsy here. I can't imagine you've watched much that is worse than this.
Not on purpose.
No. No. All right, shall we take a break and then we'll talk about Ratatouille?
Yeah, 1 out of 10. That's my rating.
Oh yeah, let's do a rating. I didn't even think about rating. Yeah, because it exists, so it has to have a 1 out of 10.
Yeah,
but it genuinely is a 1. It's there's lots of things that we describe, and we will say it's worth watching for a laugh, like bad cat, rat, whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
This is not worth watching.
It's not. No, it's not. I don't even think it would work in like a watch party scenario online with friends, because it's goofy. It's really dumb, but the dumb parts are so fleeting and surrounded by so much boring shit that it's not even funny to do. Because it would be like something funny would happen and you point out and say, "Oh, he's saying precisely" over and over again. Yeah. That's it. That's like the one joke you'd have. It's really like there's just nothing you can do with it.
I was angry that we had to watch this at the end of it. I was like, this is shit. This is 40 minutes of my life I'm not getting back.
Did you also watch it in 1.5 times speed?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did as well.
Yeah, I had to. Like, when they started talking and they were like, it's delicious, I was like, right, I'm done.
I think I lasted about 6 minutes before I turned it up. Yeah. I
contemplated watching it at 2 times speed, and I was like, I think that would give me a headache.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's like injecting it into my veins, a kind of thing. It's like too much at once. It's like I'm learning Kung Fu in the Matrix. But it was just so bad that I couldn't, in all good conscience, sit there and watch it in regular speed.
Yeah.
I just had to get it done. Oh,
right,
so okay. Weird. Don't watch it. It might give you some sort of cancer. Is my rating. Likely to. All right, we'll be back in a second to talk about a genuine masterpiece.
Yeah. Bye.
Oh, Marge, my loyal wife. Of course not. And Lisa, my little princess. And who could forget dear Rat Boy?
Rat Boy, I resent that. Right, I told you before, stop gnawing on the drywall.
Welcome back, everyone. We hope you enjoyed that break. Washed your eyes or ears with bleach after hearing about Ratatouille.
Pour some bleach in your ears.
Yeah, don't do that, by the way. Don't do that at all.
Please don't do that.
Let's talk about possibly one of the sweetest animated films ever created.
Yeah.
Even though it's got Patton Oswalt in it. Oswalt.
That's Walt, yes.
And Lou Romano. Who do really good jobs.
I love that it's Lou Romano in this. Because he wasn't anything before they made this film. He was like a storyboard artist for Pixar and Disney. I think he went to work for Leica.
But he does sound too much like Ray Romano.
Do you think? I don't know. I think it's just the
accent. I think he does. But he's great in this. All the voice cast are good. I didn't even know that it was Gian Garofalo.
Yeah, I didn't either. Yeah.
I didn't understand that Ian Holm was in it either.
Yeah.
Before, I looked up the credits. I didn't really do a lot of research before I watched it because, I've seen all the Brad Bird Pixar films a multitude of times. I could probably tell you the plot without seeing it.
Yeah, I always like that as well. But I thought I'd better watch it.
Yeah.
Anyway, because I did think I could probably just talk about this film off the cuff, not having to. Because I've seen this more. This is probably the Pixar movie I've seen the most times, I think.
Oh, it's definitely this, Up, because my Evan loves Up. He really loves Up.
He likes the bit where the wife dies.
I just can't watch it. It's too sad.
Yeah.
That whole opening is just too sad.
Do you want to know a secret?
Go on.
Never seen it.
Really?
Yeah, never seen it.
Right, we need to theme people so that we watch Up. Because I think you'd really like it.
Yeah.
I think it's completely underrated.
I played the game. Game was rubbish.
I don't think that's Disney films are either great or terrible. Nothing in between. So we need a theme.
Balloons.
So V, get to work on that. How can we make... Or Sean,
inflation.
Get to work. Inflation. We'll watch Wall Street, the cartoon. And
we can watch... have you seen... what's the guy's name? The really rich guy who's old, and they say that he's hiring people to go on protests and stuff.
Oh,
Warren Buffett.
Warren Buffett? Yeah.
Yeah, what have you seen his cartoon? Or seen things about his cartoon? He made a cartoon in the 2000s, which was Warren Buffett's Financial Kids Club or something. And it's kids who are learning financial advice from Warren Buffett. So it's these bunch of plucky preteens, and then Warren Buffett shows up and says you've learned an important lesson about financial care today. You shouldn't let your friends borrow money off you unless you can get it down in writing that you'll get the money back. That's an actual lesson in one of the episodes. It's to not let people borrow things. And it's Warren Buffett. It's so funny.
To be fair, don't lend anyone money if you want it back. Give it to them as a gift.
Yeah, but in the episode, he needed $25 so that he could do a contest or something. And he needed $5 more, and he asked his friend for it. She made him write it down in a notebook, and he had to do all this stuff. And it was real friends don't take money from real other friends without paying it back. And it's so just let him borrow $5. It's not that big of a deal.
We were. This is going to be a bit of a humble brag, so I apologise in advance.
Oh.
But Rachel and I do quite regularly. We do like once a month. We do a shop for the food bank. So we go around and we grab some stuff, bag it up, stick it in the food bank. Someone came and asked us what we were doing the other day, and my wife was like, "We're shopping for the food bank," and they were like, "Why are you doing that?" And it's like, "Because it's a nice thing to do." And they walked off laughing. And
That's
I was
really
like,
strange. That's weird.
what sort of person are you that you don't understand charity?
That's so weird.
Like, Rachel is a massive believer in we're incredibly lucky, so you need to do whatever you can to help people whenever you can. And I'm like, yeah, I totally agree. The thing is, I probably wouldn't be like that if it wasn't for Rachel. I wouldn't think of it because, like,
I mean, I wouldn't think of it.
Yeah, or like I'd think of it, but then would think, no, I can't really afford to do that right now. But actually, we can even with one of us out of work. It's we can afford to do a few things like that. But like genuinely. If you don't, there's a difference between not being able to be charitable and not
actively
understanding the concept of charity.
Yeah, that's really strange. But yeah,
I just it was just so bizarre.
I'm gonna have to check what that Warren Buffett cartoon's called. It's gonna bug me if I don't. It was like one I think that they would show in like schools. For financial advice, but I don't think the teacher would actually look it up. It's called Secret Millionaires Club.
Well, that is teaching children to be a millionaire and not lend money to anyone.
It says every episode focuses on a different business situation that kids might encounter in their day-to-day lives, like having to raise money for something or to help a local shop owner understand why their business isn't working. Things that you encounter in your day-to-day life. Financial advice to shopkeepers. That happens all the time.
I've got to be honest. If someone if I was a millionaire, I don't think I would really care. Like, people would come up to me and ask for help, and I'd be like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, no, I need it for... I don't care what you need it for. Like, if you need it, yeah, it's fine. Like, there's some things, and I just think to myself, like, how are you going to spend the amount of money that you have... Yeah. Why don't you want to help people? I don't understand people at all sometimes.
Episode 6. When the Secret Millionaires Club travels to London, they learn a lesson about illegal downloading of music when their music video is pirated by people. At the same time, they help to look for a solution to help their friends save a record store that is owned by their family while getting advice from Warren Buffett and Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon's in this. Warren Buffett invites Shaquille O'Neal to help Elena make the right decision of going to a sports camp or jeopardising her education.
Wow.
What are the celebrities? Bill Gates was in it. They had an episode with Bill Gates. Kelly Rowland. Oprah Winfrey.
Kelly Rowland, obviously, the first name that springs to mind when I think about financial investments.
And so during their trip to New York, the kids meet one of Warren Buffett's friends, who happens to be Jay-Z. Oh dear. This came out in 2011.
It's just weird, man.
Anyway, rats. We talk about regular, actual rats and not financial rats.
Yeah. Not rats that want to take a bite out of society.
Yeah.
How do we want to... Like, Ratatouille is the story of two amateur cooks.
It is, yeah.
And to be an artist, it doesn't matter where you come from.
Yeah, that's the crux of the situation, isn't it? That.
Yeah.
It's not about
pursue your dreams.
Yeah,
it's not about class. Yeah, or it shouldn't be about class. It shouldn't be about birthright. It shouldn't be about.
That's why they do a ratatouille at the end.
Yeah.
Which they are very specific about the fact it is a peasant dish.
Yeah.
And the sour bread thing that they have, what was it called?
Sweetbreads, which are intestines.
Yep, they make them fantastic.
Yeah,
so it's not where you come from.
Dumbing them down.
You can come from a sheep's gut and you can still make something of yourself. That's the lesson in this film.
I think, like, one of the so for me, the appreciation for the art of food in the in the film.
Yeah,
it's not just like a shot of someone chopping a potato and it being like it feeling like a potato.
A lot of films that we watch where there's food involved is primarily the response we have to it is that's making me hungry, like I want something to eat now. But when you watch Ratatouille, it's more I am now interested in the entire idea of food as a subject.
Yeah, as a concept. Yeah. Like when he tries to explain to his brother, is it his brother? Yeah, it's his brother.
Emil.
I can't remember the brother's name. Emil.
Yeah.
About food, and the fireworks start going off in his mind.
Yeah.
And then they die out because he lacks the imagination to do it. But that is like the spark of creativity they're talking about there. And it's like, well, regardless of what you're doing, if you're doing like some podcast that 50 people listen to, or you're doing a podcast, or you're doing like cooking, or you're doing sculpting, or like, CAD drawings, like not drawings of people with like shifty people in capes. I mean, like
or
CAD.
Control-Alt-Delete.
But like you have that process where like something like a snowball effect where it's rolling down a hill and it gets out of control.
Yeah.
Or like you can't stop thinking about it. It's contagious, and that's what I got from this constantly. Like Pixar's whole sort of like thing, reason for being is focuses on like connection and emotion and family and friendships and imagination, and I think this one is one of the best examples of that.
I do as well. Yeah, like there's that joke that all Pixar films can be described as what if blank had feelings. Yeah, and this, I think, a lot of the time that. It's more. It's like a very reductive joke about like what Pixar movies are, but this one is the most feelings. I think like a lot of the others are like emotion more than feeling. I think, if that makes sense. Like this is the like the feeling of cooking and food and creativity and like what that process is doing for the characters, rather than the things that like the emotional responses they are having to the things that are happening to them. This is like, I feel like Ratatouille has a bit more character agency for everybody who's in it. Like they are chefs by their own admittance. Like they want to be doing this rather than it being this sad thing has happened to me and now I'm going to respond to it. Yeah, you get. I can't remember what her Colette. Yeah, you get that with Colette. That everyone is there because they want to be. They've all got different backgrounds, and they even like when she talks about the other crew, and like one of them was a resistance fighter who became a chef because he was imaginative. One is like really secretive about his past. One left home and became a circus performer and then fell into being a cook. It reminds me of The Bear. With that sort of like everyone has a backstory which is relevant to why they became a chef, but when they're in the kitchen they're just chefs. And I think Colette's whole friendship and then romance with Linguini is kind of born from that. He treats her like a person rather than a woman in the kitchen. I think that's probably my least favourite thing in the film is the romance between them, because it's very sudden and I don't think it's very necessary for the plot. It feels like a studio mandated thing. Like they said, we need to have a romance element. Or
they could have just been friends.
We're set in Paris. We need to have some romance.
Yeah, they should have just been friends. Yeah, I do really like it in a film when you're able to have a platonic relationship between a man and a woman.
Yeah, I do.
They don't need to be together. Yeah. Should we talk about the plot?
Yeah.
As well?
Yeah.
So Remy is a rat, obviously, quite young, although he is voiced by Patton Oswalt, who is not young, who has like increased palate for a rat. So he's got a really good sense of taste and smell. And his dad makes him be a poison tester. Which is really good. I like the whole opening when they're all living in the old lady's attic.
Yeah, I do as well. It's a really good opening to the film.
Yeah.
It's really fun. There's a lot of action to it. I love that all of the rats that we see have like slightly different designs to them.
Yeah.
There are
yeah,
none
they
that are
really
like identical.
did design them well.
Yeah.
Especially the big rat.
Oh, I
with
love
the
the
tag
tough
in his
rat.
ear.
Yeah.
The one that they get him to tenderize the steak
Yeah.
when he's in the kitchen. But Remy essentially loves watching cooking shows, and he comes down to the lady's kitchen to steal food, which is a big thing in the film, and ends up like doing things like reading this chef Gusteau's cookbook and learning about food.
Yeah. He's like the Obi-Wan figure.
He
chef
really is.
Auguste Gusteau.
Yeah, which is really hard to say.
The best chef in the entire world, because they say at the start that all the best food in the world is in France, the best food in France is in Paris, and the best food in Paris is at Gusteau's.
Yeah, it was.
It was, because he got one bad review and it killed him.
Yeah. Yeah.
He got criticised once and immediately died.
Typical white man. So the rats.
Is that true though? That if your head chef dies, you lose a Michelin star?
I don't know. I don't know many places that would have 5 Michelin stars anyway.
No.
Head chef dying. Yeah. Hold on. Does a restaurant really lose a star or a grade? Yes, Michelin stars are based on a trio: the owner, the chef, and the location. Any change in the 3 will lead to the restaurant to lose its star.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
This is quite logical because the stars are allocated not only on the food, the chef, but also the ambience, design and view, location, and the staff, management and owner. If any of them change, therefore the criteria used to allow the stars need to be re-evaluated. That also stops any chains buying their way into a star-rated restaurant quickly. That's quite clever.
Yeah. Harsh though.
Yeah, but I suppose it encourages that sense of constant perfection that's needed. So Remy and Emile go down to the kitchen and accidentally get seen by the old lady because Remy finds out that Gusteau has died. And she then masks up and gets a rifle.
She blasts the house apart.
It's a shotgun, not a rifle.
Yeah, it's a shotgun, yeah.
And basically, destroys a whole house and finds out there's 500 rats living in her attic. And Remy and his family get separated.
Yeah.
I do like the journey of the dad in this, as the dad rat.
Yeah.
It's like, we're rats. We're like, we need to steal, we need to eat, we need to survive. That's the only thing that matters, and we look after each other. Because actually, a lot of the messaging from the dad is really good. Like the whole look after your family and like, I'll watch your back, you watch mine. The thing that is not good is the trying to squash his dreams.
Yeah.
But like, from personal experience, dads aren't perfect.
Yeah.
And it's like we do set a ridiculous expectation for our parents, but similarly, we were never asked to be born, right? So
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's hard. Well, I mean, all you've got to do to be a good parent is be around and listen. I think.
Yeah, and let them do stuff.
Yeah, and that bit isn't too hard.
Yeah.
So anyway, get away from that. Remy finds himself in Paris under Gusteau's restaurant and is visited by his imaginary Gusteau friend.
Yeah, he's visited by the Gusteau Force Ghost.
Yeah, essentially.
Gives him advice. There are multiple parts where the Gusteau Force Ghost points out things to him that Remy would not be otherwise aware of.
Yeah, like, you have a son? And he's like, you didn't know I had a son, so I wouldn't know I had a son.
No, I mean, like, when he's trapped inside that colander, and they're talking about the soup, Remy's like off not paying any attention, and then the ghost tells him that they're talking about the soup.
Oh, you mean the opposite? Sorry, I thought you meant that
ghost...
he tells him stuff that he doesn't tell him stuff that he wouldn't know.
Yeah, because if he's meant to be imaginary, how has he got like a separate consciousness and he's listening to other things that Remy can't hear?
Maybe he's acting as his subconscious. Like he did notice it out the corner of his eye, and then he just, in that way that sometimes you walk past something, you notice it, but you don't really notice it, and then you look at it again. Maybe he's
Like
acting
the,
as a subconscious there.
That alien in Hitchhiker's Guide who's going around calling everybody an arsehole in the entire galaxy, and you can only see his ship if you see it from the corner of your eye.
We never did any of the whole, like, when it came out, anything like that, because we got too excited to talk about it.
Yeah,
came out in 2007. Budget of 150 million, made 623 million. Where's those returns these days, Disney? Directed by famous Brad Bird, screenplay by Brad Bird, story by Brad Bird and 2 other people. I mean, he was just a genius, Brad Bird.
He's pretty good at these, isn't he?
Yeah, he's really good.
He's not doing Incredibles 3. It's somebody else directing.
Okay.
They just announced it like recently, saying they're doing Incredibles 3 because he's working on something called like Ray Gun or something.
Okay,
sounds like a sci-fi adventure thing that he's doing. So
I didn't love Incredibles 2.
I didn't either. I thought it was terrible. It was really shit. Yeah.
I mean,
really,
but like
really dumb. It's just pointless. It should have been set the same amount of time as between now and the first movie releasing.
Yeah,
we should have had like the kids as grown-ups.
Because then you would have had the Incredibles as grandparents as well. Yeah, that would have been really fun.
Yeah, but no, they set it like 2 weeks after the first movie,
like
after
Toy Story
years.
Does.
Yeah,
Andy grows up during Toy Story.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he finds out he's under Gusto's restaurant and arrives at the same time as Gusto's seemingly nephew at the start is what it's supposed to be, isn't it?
I think it's just like family friend because they call him Gusto's old flame. Right.
Okay. So he's a family friend, but spoilers. It turns out he is Gusto's illegitimate son.
Yeah, which I quite like that during the like process of the film. They don't. It's not really a secret. It's not like a big, like, huge, massive reveal or anything.
No.
You can kind of work it out from the very moment that he shows up.
Yeah.
As soon as that guy says his old flame, you think, oh, okay, that's his son then.
But also, Gusto says it's his in his says the restaurant is his in his will. Yeah. Like he knows he's leaving it to him. So what happens? He arrives, but the chef in charge, who is called
I don't remember what his name is.
Skinner,
yeah, Chef Skinner. Yeah.
Chef Skinner makes him
Skinner.
It makes him cook steamed ham. So he employs him as a garbage boy, as a sort of like, okay, fine, you are Gusto's. But Skinner is taking Gusto's restaurant in a different way and trading off on the name. Selling out. Rather than for the love of food.
Okay. Bring this bit up because I might forget later. He's got all them cardboard cutouts in his room with the different stereotypical versions of different races, basically, or different countries. When they're all talking at the end, when Remy's hallucinating, the only one that doesn't say a word is the one dressed as a Chinese man.
Yeah, and that is a very good choice.
Yeah.
A very good choice. Because, there's a barbecue. Even the one who's a dog talks.
Yeah.
The corn dog one. Colette convinces Skinner to hire him because of the whole anyone can cook motto, which is Gusto's. And it's probably worth saying that one of the what are they called? Food critic, that fundamentally disagreed with him about his motto was the one who gave him the negative review that lost him the star that eventually killed him. Which is Anton Ego, which is
wonderfully
really
voiced by Peter
really
O'Toole.
Great. Really good.
So I want him to be in every Pixar movie.
He should have been. Is Peter O'Toole dead?
Oh yeah, for a while.
Was
now,
this one of his last?
Yeah.
It must have been, mustn't it?
Yeah. If only instead of John Ratzenberger, it would have been Peter O'Toole in every pick. Like Peter O'Toole playing Ham in Toy Story.
It would have been a very different character. You'd have had a very. It would have been like when what's his name? The voice of the hedgehog, who is a Bond guy. Timothy Dalton does the hedgehog in Toy Story 3, and he's a thespian.
Yeah.
So Remy notices Linguini accidentally ruin Chef Skinner's soup.
Oh, he does terrible. He's doing terrible job. He's just... I think it's what got me was... He is literally just using the ingredients that are around the kitchen.
Yeah.
In the area around the pot where it was being cooked and just throwing them in indiscriminately. And he somehow makes it so bad that it immediately makes him vomit.
Yeah. That's pretty bad.
I don't think that would happen regardless of what food you put. Like isn't the entire point of a soup that you can just put whatever you want in it and it will be probably fine.
But also it follows the rules that if you put a drop of sewage in the ocean, the whole ocean would be sewage flavoured.
Yeah.
It wouldn't instantly do that. So Remy corrects him. He does correct him, doesn't he? And then Skinner...
he's trying to escape, but the ghost keeps telling him to go back and saying, "You can go and fix it, Remy."
Yeah. And then Skinner tells Luigi to take Linguini to take out the rat and kill it, but he realises that Remy can understand him.
Yeah, he nods and shakes his head.
And then he puts two and two together and understands that he was the one who corrected the soup, which was well received by a critic at the restaurant. Yeah. And then they strike up a sort of agreement that he'll help him with his cooking, and he lives with him as well. He takes him in.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, he's got a little rat. Yeah, makes a little home for him.
Yeah, and then it's hard to talk about the plot.
Linguini is the clumsiest motherfucker in any Pixar film. I love how everyone is just falling over constantly in this movie.
Yeah,
it's so slapstick.
It's why they don't ask why when Remy controls him like a marionette, while he's cooking, because they work out a system of pulleys for his hair, which makes no sense.
He's a mech. It's like an
but
Ava.
no one sort of asks him why he's doing those weird movements all the time.
No, it's just how he is. But everybody's doing it. That's just what people are like. Yeah. Like when Skinner is on the moped riding around France, he's like wobbling around all over the place.
Yeah.
Everything is very comedic. It's a lot.
Yeah, slapstick.
Yeah.
Kind of like Buster Keaton-y type of cinema.
Yeah. It makes me wonder. I don't know a lot about non-French New Wave cinema because that's not the only thing we did at university. Yeah. But I know that comedy in French cinema is a big thing. There had a lot of French comedians, and a lot of the characters in this film are based on 1940s to 1920s French actors. Ego is based on a French actor whose name I don't remember. So I wonder, was that the sort of comedy that was really popular? Like a lot of falling over, tripping over things, like near misses. And was this like a reference to that?
Maybe.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It would make sense. I can't remember when it's set around. It would be set around the 20s, right?
I think it's going to be the 60s because they've got a lot of 60s style fashion and cars in the streets.
Oh, cars and the mopeds. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's set much later than 20s. Yeah, you're probably right. It's the 60s.
They've got TVs.
Black and white TVs as well. Yeah, you are right. I'm trying to think what happens next in the film. The plot is almost incidental, I think, in the film, which is really weird to say. But Skinner discovers that Linguini is Gusteau's illegitimate heir and he has to hide it for 3 days. Yeah. What else happens?
Remy finds the papers and reveals the entire thing to people.
Yeah.
And they're getting it shut down. That happens after, doesn't it? Where he tries to get them shut down.
Basically, Linguini inherits the restaurant. It becomes a big thing. Yeah. Anton challenges him to impress him. But it starts to get to Linguini's head, and Remy starts to get angry about that.
Yeah, Remy's annoyed that he's not getting the
credit.
The recognition that he deserves.
Yeah. And all the while, Linguini's romantic relationship with Colette is meaning that he is feeling ignored. It's the classic sort of not love triangle, but sort of like spurred friend type of thing.
Yeah, that's. I'm not a huge fan of that kind of thing.
No, you're right. It's probably the weakest thing in the film.
Yeah, I don't think it works very well in this because
You've already got the conflict.
Yeah, and very, very soon, the part where like Remy is annoyed that he's not getting the recognition happens like 2 scenes after he refuses to let Linguini reveal him to Colette, which is what causes the romance in the first place.
Yeah. Although, judging on the chef's reactions, they would have all walked out if they had found him. So it's a good thing he didn't do that. But as sort of like a revenge, Remy lets the rats into the kitchen to steal food, and it was one of the agreements that they had, that you can't steal the food.
Yeah.
But Linguini arrives to apologise, saying that, he's cut him out a little bit and he's not been gracious enough. But then he finds out that he's let the rats in, and he expels Remy and this whole family, and tells him he doesn't need him anymore. But that's really quickly reconciled, because after Skinner captures Remy and Remy gets free, Linguini needs him to cook the food for Anton. But when Linguini reveals that Remy is the chef who's been cooking the food, all the staff quit, and Remy has to get, which is really weird.
I thought it was
Remy
weird.
has to get the whole family in to help him cook. Yeah. And I love when he puts them through the dishwasher.
Yeah, it's really fun. Yeah,
and they all come out puffed up.
That's my favourite scene. It's with all the
really
where he's
great.
where he's walking around giving the orders to everybody, telling them what to do, and like testing the food, and it's all very high energy. Really enjoyable scene,
because it's like a kitchen does need to be run like a military operation large parts of the time, and it's because it's because of how nice he is, and because the rats respect him because he has helped them, that they are so easily put into place into a workforce. And it ends up paying off, because at the end of the film they are treated well by Anton and Linguini. So basically they create, Colette returns to help, but they create Antonigo basically says, surprise me, your best dish, and Remy decides to cook ratatouille, which is a peasant's dish made up of leftovers, very, very cheap to make even today. And he makes a very simple vegetarian dish, and this is my favourite scene in the film, when he takes that mouthful and it essentially transports him back to when he was poor. Yeah, it's great. It's so good. And his mum put a big bowl of vegetable stew in front of him. Yeah, and it's one of the most famous Pixar scenes at this point, I think. Like, it's one of the scenes that will get ripped off by other people. Like, I think there was a sausage advert which was just this, and they got sued. Yeah. And basically, he wants to know why Linguini isn't cooking, and Linguini tells him to stay here, and he will reveal to him who the chef is at the end. And he thinks it's a joke at first, and I like that this is told by Remy. Like a story. Like a story. You don't need the drama. You don't need the Anton thinking it's a joke. The conversation seems to go well. Yeah. But then he leaves. I really liked the audio design choice, where you have Remy in the narration saying, he said thank you for the meal, and then turned around and left without saying another word. And in the background you can hear him saying thank you for the meal. Yeah. It was really nicely done. Yeah. It's got a vague documentary feel to it at times. Yeah. Which is weird for an animated film. We get Remy narration at the very beginning when he's just, explaining who he is and everything. They do the freeze frame, that's me, you're probably wondering how I got into this situation thing at the very beginning, which I thought was funny. And then he does it at the end, but you don't really get it much during the central part of the film. And I think it's because in the middle, it's mostly Remy from the perspective of the humans who can't hear him or understand what he's saying, so we don't need the narration. We get everything through their lens. Yeah. Yeah. And then at the end, when he's back to being a rat, we get it through his perspective again. I agree. It's a really, really clever way to do it. I mean, the framing of... from the moment Anton bites that food, there is not a real great amount of dialogue anymore in the film, and there's still like 10-15 minutes left.
Yeah.
They tell it through Remy's perspective, then the review, which I think is masterful.
Yeah.
The review is so good. It's just, I'm not going to spoil it by reading it.
It's
because I did
really
think
well
about
written. Yeah.
It's just, it's really like it speaks to the nature of a critic, and in like what discovering new art means, and how art should challenge your preconceptions, and the fact that anyone can be an artist. It's not about success, it's about the emotion it evokes in you is what success should be judged on. Which is like just the perfect way to think about art. It shouldn't be about is it viable as a successful product. It's what emotion it evokes in others.
Which is why it's very annoying when you mention to anybody that you can do something and they immediately wonder how you can monetize that. Really annoying.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I just think that this film is worth watching for this whole thing alone. Like, if it had that, it would be a good film if it was just like based around this central conceit. But the fact that the film is so good in lots of other ways makes it a bit of a masterpiece.
It's the best one. It's the best Pixar movie.
It's definitely up there. Like I say, I really like WALL-E. I think WALL-E's message, even though it does fall apart a little bit at the end, like the first half an hour of WALL-E is a genuine like joy. But yeah, there are bits of every Pixar film that I really like. Like, I really like Toy Story 3. I think it's just a genuinely great film. But I think you're right. It's definitely top 3. What else happens at the end? Oh, the restaurant gets shut down because they notice that there's a load of rats in it, and Ego basically...
that was fun.
I
liked that.
Rolls a new
it was realistic.
Restaurant. So Remy Linguini and Colette open a bistro called La Ratatouille, which is invested in and frequented by Ego, and the rat family have their own little bistro upstairs in the attic. And he cooks for both.
I can't remember exactly how he's different, but there's like a subtle change in his costume for Ego, where he's wearing like
he wears a beret.
Yeah, he's wearing a hat, isn't he? And it makes him look so different.
He's not wearing greys, just greys anyway, and blacks. And he's smiling, and there's colour in his face. Which does sort of... I think it just sort of says about like the fact that, critics are negative by nature, and like people want to read negative reviews. And you're more likely to leave a negative review than a positive one. And actually, him being positive and leaving a positive review changes his whole demeanour and outlook on life.
That's why we did such a glowing review for Ratatoing. It was the lesson from this film.
I think like this is going to sound really stupid.
Go on then.
Maybe it's going to sound stupid. You'll probably get what I mean, but it'll probably still sound stupid. I think it's the most human Pixar film.
Yes. Yeah, it's strangely, it's one of the more grounded.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, because we've got
I agree totally.
All the other ones where we have like talking things. There is a point, like in Toy Story, where it's talking toys. We still get that bit with Sid, where the so play nice part.
Yeah.
Where it like breaks the pre-established rules that we've seen set in place during the film, that the toys don't talk to humans, humans can't talk to toys. They break that at the end of the movie, and then it's never brought up again for the rest of the series. Which I think like they didn't need that in the film. I think it would have been a lot better if that didn't exist. But in this, rats
they didn't
can
need
talk.
it in a trilogy.
No, rats can talk, but they don't talk to humans, and that stays consistent throughout the entire thing. Like that rule, it remains in place. And this is the only movie with humans involved with that kind of law that isn't broken. Like Monsters Inc.
Yeah,
monsters aren't supposed to communicate with humans, and they do.
Yeah, but I think that is a theme of the film, like that their fear is stopping them doing it. Right. This is this is a simple biological rule that they follow through with, which is quite good.
Yeah, I think maybe Finding Nemo It's close to it because it is. We do get human interaction with the fish, but they don't like talk to the humans.
No. I think, yeah, you're right. This is the most grounded. And I also think, like, the litmus test of whether a film is grounded in reality is if you could replace that animal with a, let's say, mute con, someone who just, like, or someone who had been imprisoned for a crime they didn't commit and they just come out and their prospects were bad. Could that person replace Remy? Absolutely. Because then you've got the...
Maybe not the bits where he's hiding in his hat.
or the bits where he's, what's the other thing? Where people might be disgusted that he's in the kitchen.
They shut down the restaurant because there's a mute in the kitchen.
Yeah, you could have the whole thing be about family still and him, like, struggling with the fact that because he's not successful at the time and not getting the recognition, he feels like he has to steal for his family. You could easily substitute Remy for a person and it work. Like the poor person is in the kitchen in a 3 Michelin star restaurant, which, to be honest, 3 Michelin star restaurant, still fucking excellent.
Yeah.
Right. Like, in the 1% of restaurants.
Yeah. How many years Gordon Ramsay got now?
Oh, I have no idea.
I know that the character that they designed Colette after, who let me just find out what her name is. Voice cast. Janine Grosso, inspired by French chef Hélène de Rose.
Okay.
She's got 6 Michelin stars and 3 restaurants.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you can only get 3 stars.
Yeah.
In real life. These include. So there's several. Restaurant Gordon Ramsay has one. The Connaught. I've been to the Connaught. The Dorchester. I've been to some Michelin starred restaurants. Rachel and I once went for, I think it was like Rachel's 30th, to dinner by Heston Blumenthal, and it blew my mind. The food was so good. They did like this thing called meat fruit, which sounds disgusting, but it was like a pate. I'm ashamed to say it was foie gras. It was shaped in the shape of a clementine, and it had like orange gel around the side of it, and it was absolutely delicious. Everyone who's listening to this, it's like, you're such a prick. I mean, you're thinking it as well. But Rachel,
I don't like the aesthetics of Michelin star food. I think it looks so crap. It's just like, we've made it into a small square in the middle of the plate.
Right,
we've drizzled something around the corner of it. It's like, piss off. Just give me the food.
But small restaurants are doing that now. Like the whole, Salt Bay, TikTokable food, right?
Yeah,
like,
it's so annoying.
Instagrammable food. At least with like a Michelin starred restaurant, it's like,
it tastes nice.
I think they call it mise en plate. It's like how it's set up so it looks arty rather than it looks photographable, right? But yeah, it tasted amazing. Like Rachel's big thing is she'd rather spend on food than anything else. It's like her reason for living. Like she will pick a holiday based on what restaurants are around.
Oh really? That's fun.
Yeah, she doesn't really care about going on the beach or swimming in the sea or anything like that. It'd be like, where can we have a nice meal? Which is great.
The Michelin guide, it's got nothing to do with the tyre company, has it?
Yeah, it's by the tyre company.
Is it really?
Yeah. So it started as a like roadside where is good to eat, and then it became so important and so well respected that they moved into fine dining.
Wow,
it's crazy.
That's really funny.
It's crazy.
Like the Michelin man going and having meals at restaurants and giving his review.
Like if you look Michelin Guide, just Google Michelin Guide, and then go on I think it's guide.michelin.com.
Oh shit!
It's got a picture of the Michelin man.
Yeah, the Michelin man. He's reading a book about the British Isles. Michelin Guide to the British Isles. That's really funny.
Dinner. Oh, shut up, stupid restaurant.
One of the Michelin symbols is the Michelin man, like doing a face.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Oh, So dinner, where I went, the Heston Blumenthal thing, is a 2-star Michelin restaurant.
God.
You're bringing it down.
From what I can tell, there's no such thing as a 5-star Michelin restaurant. So
no, you can only get 3.
Gusteau was ahead of his time. He was doing incredible.
I think because you judge by those characteristics, maybe it is 1 for the food. Oh, no, that wouldn't make sense. You get it. Maybe you get it every time the critics come. I will say though, as pretentious as it is, like if you can get to a Michelin restaurant, because they're not all super expensive either. That's the real thing. Some are really relatively well priced. If you can get to one, it is worth it for like the experience of it. If you love food, there's a place in Miami called Chug's Diner, which is a diner and it has a Michelin star, and it is Cuban food, and they do like sandwiches and fries and stuff like that, and it doesn't look particularly fancy or something, but it's always one of those places that I've wanted to go. But it's like a small cafe, and it's got a Michelin star because the quality of the food is so good. It's just like food is great. Food is great. I can't. I'm not a live to like just to eat as fuel person, and I don't really understand those people. Yeah, Smoothsy just eats cardboard and water.
Yeah, I have paste.
Soylent Green.
Yeah. Yeah, you know when you buy Itsu pots with noodles and it comes with that paste in a little packet? I just eat that in a bowl with like a spoon.
You throw out the noodles.
Yeah, don't need
Damn nourishment. Yeah, I love food. It helps that Rachel is like really into cooking, and it's her de-stressor. So she makes me try like a multitude of different things, and she's always cooking new stuff, to the point where it becomes frustrating sometimes because you want her to recook some of the stuff and she'll never go back to it. It's like, you cooked this amazing thing, and she's like, no, I want to try something new. It's like, okay, right, fine. But yeah, Ratatouille is great. It really does. It captures that love of food, but also that sort of like inner artist you have, where it's like, I love creating for people, and I love seeing them smile when they, or say something nice when they see our work and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, it's a 9 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I love this movie. 10 out of 10.
It's so good, so good. The only thing I'd say is, I don't love the love interest part. It seems a bit tacked on.
Necessary. Yeah, yeah.
And
I like all the character designs. I feel like this was peak character design for Pixar. Yeah, where everybody is so shapy and like
he's shaped like water almost. Yeah, as Remy, he's really good.
And everyone's like visibly different to one another, as opposed to now where everybody just looks the same in Pixar movies. I can see why they have like settled on an art design, because it probably does make the work a lot easier, and it's people like it. So, but I just think it's very boring. I feel like since Luca, every Pixar character has looked the same, which I don't like. I want some variation.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Interesting bit of trivia: when the New York Times did its 100 greatest films of the 21st century in 2025, Ratatouille was 73.
It should have been further up.
I'm not surprised.
Should be number 1.
You know, like the snobbery around animated films is well known, right?
Yeah.
So,
let me.
I want to see what the other ones are. I can't do it
what was
without
number
paying
1?
For the New York Times.
Ugh.
Yeah, I know. There we go. Here we go. Reddit. Thank you, Reddit. So, do you want me to do them in? Is anyone going to be interested in this? Yeah,
no.
Of course they are.
Tell me what were the top 3? Tell me what the top 3 were.
Oh my god, it's only done. I can't do it. It only does 100 to 81 for some reason.
It's 21st century film, so I've got no idea. Maybe what came out in the 21st century? Matrix wasn't. That was 99. This is boring. We've got emails. Do you want to hear emails?
Let's read emails. Let's go to emails.
This is a long one, so buckle up. Buckle up,
All right.
Buttercup.
I'm buckled.
Hound's Day is a very dangerous day. This is from Thomas. It says, "Oh, fish sticks, it's the Toonhounds. I'm so happy you're Oh, fish sticks. I'm so happy you're covering Joe Murray in a crucial part of my formative years, Rocco's modern life. I had no idea he did other works after that, so I need to check those out as well. I really hate most of the you can't make discourse, but I truly can't imagine Rocco being made on today's Nickelodeon. I don't know, I'm not a TV doctor, but upon rewatches as an adult, my oh my are some of the jokes for parents, and not in a cute Rugrats way, but a way that did get them in trouble back then. You can see the evolution of the show over time, where it tones much of that down and becomes more satirical in nature. The likely pressure to live up to Ren and Stimpy's reputation waned, especially as John Kay wore out his welcome and got fired from his own creation. The more focused maturity as the show went on really gives a perspective on, well, modern life that even kids can relate to. I think that's where SpongeBob lost me initially. I knew Rocco alum Steven Hillenburg was in it, and you can see some of the Rocco influences, but it remains a sillier, light-hearted show and far more innocent, which is 100% fine as well. I do get confused about how the movie refers to Patrick and SpongeBob as kids all the time, when the show treats them as basically adults, just idiots.
Yeah.
And Rocco, being more mature and clearly a young adult with relatable issues, made me as a kid feel like I could understand the adult world a little bit better. Yeah, I agree with that. It's SpongeBob. I don't think they can really get a handle on how old their characters are meant to be, like what demographic they're trying to aim for. Because like SpongeBob is a 9-year-old, 23-year-old.
Whereas Rocco is a young immigrant, and I think that makes a difference, right? He's like college age, he feels like, so he's like growing up, and he's around adults that feel weird to him because there's a generational gap. So yeah, I agree.
I think back on episodes like the recycling one and the Big Head's Child, voiced by Murray himself, and how they influenced both my values and my sense of humour. Ralph, who later became Rachel, tries to get out of their contract with the network by intentionally creating something awful in Wacky Deli, doing things like showing 15 minutes of a jar of mayonnaise and being hailed as a genius. I often wonder if that's why Family Guy would start doing full Conway Twitty songs as a joke. Are they also screaming for help and a merciful end to the immortality curse of Fox's animation domination? Maybe. Oh, that's weird. The font on the email has suddenly changed and gone to a different colour.
Weird.
Yeah, I don't know why it's done that. The cast for the show really shines, and it's always fun to spot them in other things. Rocco was voiced by Carlos. Is it Alizraki? I don't know how you say it. Alizraki? I'm going to say Alizraki. I had to copy paste that name, and now the font is different. Oh, there we go. We got context. And gives both a sweet, mild-mannered voice to Rocco, but can also turn on the berserk when Rocco is pushed to his limits. Yeah. Tom Kenny is Heifer and one of the Chameleon brothers, both roles I wouldn't immediately identify as him doing the voice. At a convention, I got to meet and get an autograph from Charlie Adler, who voiced the Big Heads, along with the other characters like Buster Bunny and Starscream, and he was a really nice guy. That's fun.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. And of course, Mr. Lawrence, who is Filbert, and later Plankton with SpongeBob. Frank Welker Fun Fact of the Week. Frank did not voice any of the animals. Carlos did Spunky's voices.
Wow.
I bet he was furious.
I bet he was.
Frank Welker, but it was like calling his agent. He found
That's
a TV
his
show.
niche.
Yeah, he was watching TV and said, "That's not me." Anyway, now on to the episode you're actually doing. Pokemon. Wait, you recorded that already? I'm 3 days late, and now you're on to rats. Raticate was kind of a boring but serviceable Pokemon. I forgot about Raticate.
Raticate is always in the show. It's because rats are around, right? And I think Raticate and Pidgey are two of the most boring Pokemon.
Yeah, Gary has a Raticate in the first game. And do you know the conspiracy theory, the fan theory about Gary's Raticate? That he died, and that's why he's at Lavender Town? Because he has a Raticate in his team when you fight him on the SS Anne, and then you see him paying his respects to something in Lavender Tower, and then the next time you fight him, he hasn't got his Raticate anymore.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah. So that's sad.
Yeah.
His rat died. The anime really didn't do enough with it, though. First episode of Pokemon is so perfect. It still makes me emotional when I rewatch it. And the added bonus of having a mystery Pokemon that isn't part of the 150 led to years of speculation until the Johto Pokemon appeared. I had a VHS tape that was a sneak peek of Pokemon from Nintendo, and I remember being kind of baffled at what the hell I was watching. It had live-action actors, including Ash's actors, playing relatives, teachers and friends of his, and it was basically a big commercial for the anime and video games. That's really cool. I want to see that.
That is cool, yeah.
I think what really finally sucked me in was the climactic scene of the episode where Ash is ready to get pecked to death by Spearows, and Pikachu goes Super Saiyan and blows them all away with his Thunder Shock. He's far too weak to be able to learn Thunder yet, and Ash never mentioned giving him a TM. Sometimes Ash would say random stuff like Electric Attack, which was never a real move in the game.
So, right, I have a theory on this. So, Pikachu is a prick at the start.
Yeah.
I think he has been around in Professor Oak's laboratory for a long time.
Yeah.
And I think it also explains... So he is a higher level than a starter Pokemon, right? Which is A, why Ash is so good, but B, why Pikachu won't obey his commands, because he hasn't got the gym badges. So I was thinking about this. So maybe Pikachu is much higher level than a starter Pokemon. It's just that Professor Oak couldn't get rid of him, and he was like, here's this punk who turns up in his pajamas. I'll give him this shit Pokemon that doesn't want to do anything because he won't obey a new trainer's commands. And also, Pikachu has that thing where he doesn't want to evolve, and I feel like he is at an evolutionable level. Evolutionable, is that a word? It is now.
Evolvable.
Evolvable, thank you.
That doesn't sound right either.
We're just making it up. Doesn't matter. He's at an evolvable level, but he refuses even from the start. So I think he's always been evolvable, and he just doesn't want to...
Pikachu's are anyway, because you evolve with Pikachu with the Thunderstone.
Thunderstone
level.
Yeah. But anyway, so I think he's a much higher level, and I think that's why he doesn't obey commands, and I think that's why he knows moves that he shouldn't know. Remember, Pokemon learn, especially in Gen 1, learn moves much easier quicker is the word. Quicker if you don't evolve them.
Yes, that's true. So yeah, maybe.
I think
it's really funny that you get like 5 seasons of Pikachu tearing through everything, like getting stronger and stronger and stronger, and then it got to the whatever one it was where Tepig was in it. And he gets beaten immediately by like a level 5 Tepig. What happened in the between seasons? Did you lose all your abilities?
He must be like level 500 by
he must
season 5.
I was very. The video also has Giovanni. I always called him Giovanni, but I think it might be Giovanni.
I think it's Giovanni. Yeah,
it's weird, isn't it? Because that's not how you say that name.
No.
I'm going to call him Giovanni. The video also has Giovanni referred to Pikachu as rare and exceptionally powerful. I was very disappointed to see that wasn't the case in the games. I guess for a Pikachu he was strong, but he still got throttled by Surge's Raichu, and most of the gym wins were out of freak occurrences like setting off the sprinklers in Brock's gym or saving everyone from Team Rocket. Even Misty calls BS on Ash's accomplishments in Season 1. To be fair, he got screwed. Yeah, she was right too. He got screwed by his ingrate Charizard in the Pokemon League, along with being tired from another Team Rocket interference. I have a love-hate relationship with Team Rocket. They are great characters with some actual development and backstory, but they also showed up way too often, usually at the last second to pad time. A Pikachu was not worth their trouble.
No. I have a weird thing about, like, because Pikachu wouldn't be that valuable...
No.
Early on in the gym experience, either. What is Rock? Rock is the second gym?
First.
Yeah,
first
He'd
gym,
be absolutely fucking useless.
Yeah.
When can you capture a Pikachu? How early in the game?
Viridian Forest. There's one section of grass which can have Pikachu in.
Oh, okay. So it is quite rare in the game, I guess.
Yes. Yeah.
If you didn't know. If you didn't know. And especially if you had no knowledge of Pokemon, like Ash doesn't.
Yeah. Ash didn't know shit.
Pikachu?
What's one of those? A Pokeball? What the hell is that?
A Pokeball is a ball for a Pokemon to live in. That's my Pokedex impression.
That was really good, yeah.
Thanks.
It sounded like Hume.
That's what I based Hume on. A Pokedex.
Oh, I also love how the early episodes show that real animals exist in the Pokemon world. Nowadays, they really lean away from that, and every animal euphemism instead has a Pokemon equivalent, like hung like a Rapidash. Okay, they never said that one, but you get the point. They also confirm that people do indeed eat Pokemon. You can even make Pokemon Pokemon meat-based sandwiches in the latest game. That you can't turn any of your own Pokemon into sandwiches, not even the eggs. The games make them out to be more like animals, I suppose. But in the anime, they seem to have far more sentience, or at least emotions. Gotta love that sweet cognitive dissonance. They have jobs, yeah. In the games, it's just like, I've just caught a Rapidash. Go live in a PC box for the rest of your life because I'm never going to use you with your 100 brothers and sisters.
Who wants a Rapidash?
I still need to see the new series. I did like how they gave some closure to Ash's story in the end and have decided to do a whole new story, even if we are never truly rid of Pikachu. He is their mascot after all. Now finally, onto rats.
He is a perfect design.
Yeah.
Like, he's the face of... Who else would you use, really? You can't use Charmander.
It was nearly going to be Clefairy.
Oh, that's terrible choice.
Yeah.
Absolutely fucking awful choice.
Yeah. There's not really anybody else that you could have. Maybe Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff is like number 2, I think.
Psyduck.
Yeah.
No, you can't. Psyduck's stupid looking. He looks like he's, got some, real sort of problems, like trauma in his life.
Yeah.
You can't put Psyduck as the face. I think Squirtle probably.
Squirtle, yeah, Bulbasaur. One of the starters, surely.
Yeah.
Charmander.
Charmander's shit. I hate Charmander.
I can't say.
Not as bad as Charmeleon. Charmeleon looks like a sex pest.
He's a bit skeevy, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't say I've seen or heard of Ratatoing. It started with a U, that's funny. Ratatouille. That's how the British spell it. It looks about what I'd expect a knockoff CGI movie to look like in circa 2007. Ratatouille, though, was delightful. I haven't seen it in a while, so I should give it a rewatch soon. The detail of Paris and the food they made was an amazing achievement when CGI animation was still relatively young. The actual dish must have gotten a boost from the movie. I know I hadn't heard of it beforehand, but maybe that's just me being an ugly American. Of course, people forget... Yeah, maybe. That's what I blame everything on, is people being ugly Americans. People forget that the rat is not named Ratatouille himself, despite the fitting name, but Remy. At least that isn't as bad as people calling that whale Free Willy, as if that's his full name, even when he's captive at the aquarium. As a Simpsons fanatic, Brad Bird's involvement definitely piqued my interest for this and The Incredibles. I didn't realise he had direct apprenticeship work from Disney by the 9 Old Men, and also was behind the Iron Giant. According to Wikipedia,
he was also a staff writer on Simpsons.
Yeah. According to Wikipedia, he also was an animator for the unaired Rugrats pilot and is a big believer in animation being an art form and hates it being dismissed as kids' stuff. So he's A-OK in my book.
Absolutely.
I hope to see more from him after Incredibles 3 and probably the inevitable Ratatouille 2 Furious. That's spelt with twos in the Ratatouille.
Good. That's
really
how it should
good.
be spelt.
Yeah. Okay, I should go now. Now I'm hungry, either for a wacky deli with Pokemon sandwiches or some marked up French peasant food. Toonhounds, Thomas.
Excellent email, Thomas. Thank you. I always look forward to hearing from Thomas because he normally says everything that I agree with. So,
next email.
Matt.
No.
V.
Yes. Okay. The title of this email is Richard, if you get rid of emails, I'll move to Plymouth and no one wants that. Ooh, let's go to Early Bird Cafe and have eggs, meat box yummy. But it wasn't good last time. Ooh, I love brisket. I want £half a pound of brisket. 3 chimneys, 7 fireplaces, £6,000 heating system, cooker faucet. Haha, I said force it, Richard. Don't get mad, it's not good for you. Don't make me tell your GP about your blood pressure, but you're like 45, so I think they make you go every 6 months to make sure you're still alive. And because you had ass cancer. I think I can say that. I did now. Also, looking at you, it's probably too low anyway. Vanilla ice cream in Marseille, smashing light tubes over each other at London Airport, pin badges. Haha, I know all the Richard things. Spivsy, please clean your room. You seem to live in a pile of DVDs and toys like a charity shop or maybe a CEX. You know, the sex shop. Is this subject longer than the email? I think so. Do. Let's get SHM. Let's get schmur. Oh, let's get smashed. Is that what it's going to be?
I have no idea.
Toonhounds. Hound dog howl. Awoo. It's me, V. Yippee wahoo. How are you doing? Oh, that's nice. Rich, what was the mystery thing that kept you busy? Is it your book? Because you keep posting it in Bros Before Dross for people to edit for you. I mean, check. Did you get a job yet? If not, why aren't you around more? Wow. God, it's really...
So I am quite busy with the book at the moment. I've had to do some edits. A big shout out to Squid, who I gave both versions of the book, the 115,000 and the 85,000, and he listened to them at work while he was working, both of them in like 4 days.
Jeez. Was it on like 3 times speed?
It must have been. But he did a wonderful job. But yeah, so the publisher is asking me for some information and stuff, so I've had to work on that. Also, I've had strep throat. Also, is it okay to say this? Evan has been quite challenging lately. Ooh. So I have not been on, but also I have been job hunting as well. Yeah. And curating my 2 terabyte pornography collection. No, not really. I love the word curating.
Yeah. It's called archiving.
Archiving, yeah. Putting a little star in the title so that you don't delete the ones accidentally that you really want to keep. I don't really understand people who do that, but people do that. They do but yeah, I've just not been around. Been busy, and as you say, I am ancient and I have a lot of responsibilities now. So yeah, and I'm having to do a lot of homework with my son. So he's not at the age.
Yeah, you at decimals and fractions yet? Have you done that?
He's in doing halves and thirds and stuff like that. But maths does not, much like myself, maths does not come easily to Evan.
Oh man! So, do you know what math thing was like? My turning point, or was like my, this is it. I can't do it anymore. Finding n.
Oh no, it was tangents for me. Yeah. So I was okay with algebra. Okay with that, and like balancing equations and stuff. When I remember being in class and they were like, so that's how you measure a tangent, and I realised that I had zoned out for 45 minutes.
Yeah, that was me with finding
I couldn't
n.
Get it.
Where it was homework, and I remember it being like a 3 pages. I think it was in year 7. I had like 3 pages of find n in this equation, and it took like a week of straight work trying to figure this out, and eventually it was like, I don't know what I'm doing. This is terrible. Like I can't do this anymore. So that's why I don't like maths anymore.
It is hard it's difficult when you're a kid, and like you hit that brick wall, and a teacher doesn't recognise that, and it's just strolling on, and it's like you're leaving a kid behind. Which is why I'm sort of like I'm doing a half hour to an hour of homework with Evan every day after school at the moment, and he's got like because like he has to do it for his, like it's in the curriculum to do his homework, right, in school curriculum, so he has to do 20 minutes at least, and it's by that point they want him to do so much, like he doesn't have enough time to play when he gets in and stuff like that.
I don't believe in homework. I don't think it should be a thing.
Me neither. If you can't teach the kid what they need to know in the allotted time, then that's really on you. It's not on, like... I appreciate in secondary school you might have to do something extracurricular, but... Yeah, it's a bit much. Like, he's 7 years old, he's doing a half hour of homework every night, and it's just when does he get the chance to be a kid?
Yeah.
He doesn't like doing it, I don't like doing it.
I only like doing English homework, because we usually got to write stories.
Yeah, or art homework.
That was easy. Much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where were we?
Don't know. You hadn't started anything yet.
Okay, email time. Let's talk about Pokemon. I really like Lucario and Inteleon and Sylveon and Dragonite and Charizard and what? Charizard.
Charizard. Is that the French version? So the dragons, really?
Yeah, Charizard is a fucking ancient Yogscast reference from like 11 years ago. Richard, can you name Pokemon that aren't from 30 years ago?
No. Wait a minute, Snom. I said about Snom.
Snom and Frosmoth.
How much I like Snom.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be hard pushed to, because Gen 1 is the most related to when I was growing up. No, probably not. I didn't play beyond the first game either. Like, to me, it was like, okay, so I've played this game now. Much in the same way that I didn't play Skyrim after I played Morrowind, because like I'd put so much time into that. It was like, oh, okay, so I get it now. So with Skyrim, it's going to be more of the same, right?
Oh, God,
That's
no.
probably wrong.
It's very wrong.
But to me, it's like
games.
I've played a Bethesda RPG.
Yeah, I can kind of see the logic in it.
But
I can't
then I did play all
appreciate
three
the
Mass
logic in it, but I
Effects.
can understand it.
I mean, I did play all 3 Mass Effect games.
Yeah.
And I've just finished the 3rd Doom game, so
Yeah.
it's not really logic that holds up to much scrutiny.
Haha, plumbing boy, please come fix my shower. I don't have one at the moment, it's just a big hole in the ground.
Why?
I don't know. What happened? Did it get like evaporated?
Yeah.
Did your shower get raptured?
V is a funny one, because she was like, how did you take a shower tray on your own, out on your own? It's concrete. And I was like, you break it up. I'm having for anyone who can't hear at the moment, you might hear some banging above me. I'm having my roof repaired because the roof was leaking.
Roofing, bro.
Yeah, roofing, bro. That's what Josh said to me when I told him that. But yeah, so houses are expensive, man.
They are, man.
not
My
worth
choices of Pokemon are always right. Bug Pokemon are for Poindexters. How dare you?
Right? Okay. So what is her choice? Dragon.
Dragons, yeah.
Cliche.
Dragons and Sylveon. And Inteleon. Okay, this is an email. Well done, V. Hooray. Maybe I'll do another. I don't know about Joe Murray. I haven't seen them. Why hasn't Spivsy been on Storylords yet? They're literally right, you dorks. Not Spivsy, they are perfect. V. Princess of Toonhounds, CEO, intern, Princess of Patreons.
I mean, we've only had 2 people on. It's hard.
Yeah.
It is having a guest is hard. It increases the show length by half an hour.
Oh, no.
And like that is we don't like Josh doesn't say it, but it is a lot of work. Josh does edit the show, so it does. I mean, Spivsy knows how hard it is editing the show. Sometimes when you have a guest on, we have to take a lot out, and a lot out.
We do, yeah.
To make it a palatable length.
Like this episode's going to be like 2.5 hours, which is pushing it for an episode about rats.
Yeah, and we didn't talk about Ratatoing for very long. No. But yeah, I mean, Spivsy's on the list.
I am. I'm on a lot of lists.
That sounded so bad. When it's time, he'll be on. They'll be on.
I'll be there.
So don't sweat it.
I'll be there for you when the rain starts to fall.
Good.
Let's do the clap.
You've got the
Do you want
clap.
another email?
Yeah, let's do another email.
Let's do another email. Making up for all the emails I didn't send. This one is from Matthew.
I knew Matt was going to email. Mainly because I read that he'd emailed.
Yeah. Howdy, hounds.
Howdy,
should
Matt.
I do an impression of him when I'm reading it?
Can you?
Yeah, of course I can. I can do impressions of anyone.
All right, okay, go on then.
All right. I didn't email for several episodes, so I'm going to rapid fire the gag. I'm not really going to do that for the whole thing.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
He's from Georgia. And to be fair, Matt hasn't even got like a...
No, he hasn't,
what
no.
I would consider a Georgian accent.
Yeah, because I think Georgian accent is like sitting out on the pouch drinking mint juleps.
Yeah, you know what it reminds me of, which is a bad one, but Kevin Spacey in House of Cards.
That's a reference that's completely lost on me.
It was good when it first started, and then he became a weirdo sex pest. Well, I suppose he was always a weirdo.
Yeah, it was already one. Yeah,
but it became prevalent and known.
I didn't email for several episodes, so I'm going to rapid fire to catch up. Steven Universe. I was on this episode, so just listen to that again. Weirder. I've no history with these, but I looked up Paddy the Pelican and it's kind of hilarious. It's so amateurish, and it kind of reminds me of old dubs where they felt like they had to cover every lip flap, which is extra funny to me, now that I've seen so many Hong Kong films, because those were rarely filmed with sync sound and they didn't care about syncing up the lips even in the native language.
No.
It's really funny, that, yeah.
Interesting, we didn't mention that. Ratatouille, one of the big problems with the animation is the bad lip syncing.
Yeah.
It was filmed in Portuguese. Yeah. Recorded in Portuguese. And they've made no effort in that animation to even change that any way possible.
Yeah. Apes. The Donkey Kong Country animated series was one that I always wanted to watch as a kid, but somehow missed or didn't have the right channel or something, and now it's just so ugly it's insane. But it is fun. Joe Murray.
That episode we watched wasn't.
No, it wasn't. We picked up quite a bad one that time. Rocko's Modern Life was on before my family got cable, so I only caught a few episodes of it. Then Camp Lazlo was on when I was in high school, and not watching Cartoon Network, so I don't have anything to say. Sorry.
You should watch Camp Lazlo, though. I think you'd really like it.
Yeah, it's great.
Genuinely.
Yeah.
It's like, I think like one of the best things we've watched this year. It was really, really good. I loved it.
Pokemon. I had a GBA, but the main game I played on it for the first year or so I had it was Pokemon Crystal. I'm not sure why I never got the original Red and Blue, but I absolutely demolished Crystal. I had a Feraligatr named Nick. I named it after a friend for some reason. My favourite Pokemon is definitely Gengar, though. And a friend of mine's favourite is Heracross, so it was nice hearing you all mention that one specifically. You're welcome.
And we mentioned both.
We did, yeah. I got super into it again during college with the DS games. I bought Black on launch day, but fell off after Sun and Moon didn't really hit. I do think once I eventually get a Switch 2, I might pick up Scarlet and Violet, since hopefully the game will run like not garbage on it. Also, you got me to download Pokemon Unbound, and it's really neat. Whenever I pull myself away from Baldur's Gate 3, I'll probably dive into that. I'm still playing Pokemon Unbound. I'm at like 150 hours into it now. I've got all the badges, and I'm at the Elite Four. And every single time I try to fight the Elite Four, they just completely destroy me.
Is no one listening to my recommendation of Mario Mon?
No, not yet.
Oh, damn it!
It's they don't trust your recommendations. They think they're going to load it up and it's going to be like a depressing thing where everybody dies halfway through. And it'd be an emotional masterpiece.
If you don't start listening to me, your life will be a depressing thing where everyone dies, okay?
Oh, no. And finally, who could forget Dear Rat Boy? Ratatouille is a lot of fun. I love how pretty much all of the first 10 or so Pixar movies are kind of centred around some technology or thing they wanted to test out. Like how Monsters Inc. was essentially to try fur animation technology. And Ratatouille is, what if 3D food actually looked tasty?
Yeah.
That's true, yeah. I remember all of the Pixar shorts that they used to show before the movies would be...
Technical demos, yeah.
Yeah, technical demos for whatever the next thing was going to be. That's really cool. I don't think... Do they still do the shorts when they do theatrical releases?
Don't know. I haven't been to a theatrical Pixar release
no, I haven't
a
either.
long time, since Toy Story 3.
Yeah, I don't think I've been to one since Ratatouille.
It's a long time.
Yeah. Now for Ratatoing, I can't speak on it, but for Heroes 3 April Fools a few years ago, Carlos put together what he called Pandasploitation, which was 3 movies that were ripping off, or at least trying to rip off, Kung Fu Panda, and they're rough. And one features the dubbing voices of Norm Macdonald for some reason. And one of the movies we talked about, The Little Panda Fighter, is by the same animation company as Ratatoing. So
when you said Norm Macdonald, in my head I heard Michael McDonald. Yeah. All right. Okay. So we got a question answered. They did do it for Heroes 3.
Yeah, that's good. Okay. Way too long email done. Bye, Matthew.
I mean, that wasn't too long by today's standards. Don't worry about it.
No, that was fine.
Yeah.
We've got one more email.
Sean.
No, this one confused me because it's from somebody called David, and I read it and I thought, did I send myself an email? I got confused for a second.
Oh no, you've told people your real name.
Oh, people know what my real name is.
Oh, okay, all right. I always find it weird when I have to transfer you the stuff because I never ever call you by anything but Spivsy.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I like. Evan says to me, is it the podcast with Spivsy today or is it the podcast with Josh and Jeff? And I was like, it's Spivsy. So he doesn't even know your name is David.
I know, it's weird, isn't it? Not many people call me it now.
It really is.
Yeah. Afternoon, chaps. Really enjoy the podcast. Just wanted to recommend some animations I'd find interesting for you to have a little chinwag about. Super Ted, Legend of Treasure Island from the 1990s, Spawn, Action Man 1995... And also, I don't know if any of you are into Doctor Who, but I think it will be very interesting hearing your thoughts on the animations from missing episodes. I prefer the early ones and the odd later one because they have more atmosphere and the shock choices make it engaging, whereas the others feel too flat and lacklustre. Take care, and I can't wait to hear your next episode. Sincerely, David.
Oh, thank you.
I remember, I would absolutely watch Super Ted because Super Ted has got the greatest gay couple in any animation ever. Tex and the skeleton guy.
Isn't it the other guy who's in the relationship? Because there's 3 of them. Tex is the leader. Then you've got Buff and Skull, haven't you?
Yeah. Are they called? Is that what they're called? I think they're in Buff a polycule, aren't they? I think they're in a thruple.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. But they are. Super Ted's great. Super Ted and Banana Man would make a really good.
He would. Yeah. I don't know Legend of Treasure Island.
No.
But I do know Spawn and the 1995 Action Man cartoon.
Legend of... What was it called? Legend of...
Treasure Island.
Treasure Island.
I don't think I know it.
British animated series. Oh, I've seen this!
Let me have a look.
I've definitely seen this. I had a... I think... Is it by the same people who do D'Artagnan? Dogtanian? I've definitely seen this, Spiv.
No, I haven't seen this. I don't know this one.
We'll definitely do that. Perhaps we'll do maritime cartoons.
Yeah,
we'll do Treasure Island. Treasure Island and Treasure Planet. Although, no, we have to save Treasure Planet for the Titan AE episode.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. Yeah, as discussed, yeah. But yeah, we'll watch them. I don't know the Doctor Who animation ones. Are they fan animated?
I'd avoid, after my experiences that I've well documented, I avoid all Doctor Who related stuff out of trauma.
Okay.
So I've never watched a single episode. I've watched Doctor Who, but I feel like in recent years it's gone way downhill. I can't comment.
No, well, I mean, I'll watch these. I'll try the animations out because they're animated, and it might be pretty cool to see the old stuff. Because if it's like the lost episodes, that's the stuff when it was like broadcast live, so nobody actually had like it on copies. So that would be quite interesting.
I mean, like that would make a good concept for an episode, like animated parts that they've had to integrate into other things.
It's a bit wordy.
Or like, don't we think of a pithier title? Or like animation that's been done like for audio dramas.
Yeah. That'd be pretty
get our TTOS animators on it so that we can rush that out.
We've got a budget of £12. We need this done in a week.
What can you do? We'll definitely look into those. Adventures of Treasure Planet is Treasure Island. Is something that like triggered something in the back of my long-term memory. So definitely.
The thing on the more like this is the Dreamstone, and I wonder was that the same people? Because I loved the Dreamstone. I watched that movie so much as a kid.
Dreamstone. Sorry, there's banging above me again. I remember this as well. Yeah, the animation is exactly the same. Yeah, I remember the Dreamstone.
I loved that. I had the
it was good.
They released like the first 3 episodes, I think, as like a movie on VHS.
Yeah,
and I like wore out the tape. This was like my movie that I watched over and over and over again as a kid. The Wicked Zordak, Lord of Nightmares.
He was very big. I remember that. Yeah, he was like a big dragon.
Yeah,
and there was a Merlin character in it.
Oh, dude, Rupert. Why have we never watched Rupert?
We could watch Rupert Bear and Yogi Bear.
the bear collection.
We could have a bears episode. We could go Teddy Ruxpin. We could go Gummy Bears. We could go
Winnie the Pooh.
I really want to watch the live action Winnie the Pooh because I saw a trailer for it and it made me laugh.
Which one?
The one with Ewan McGregor in it.
Oh, the Christopher Robin one.
Christopher Robin. Is it any good? Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it. No.
I feel like it came out and it was dwarfed by Paddington.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for giving us some ideas.
Yeah. If you want to give us some ideas, you can do so by emailing us at toonhounds@gmail.com.
I just left you in the cold there with that, didn't I? And also, if you want to support the show, but like as part of oh my god, just keep going with it, Spiv. I've lost it.
If you want to support our endeavours, you can go on to patreon.com/toonhounds, where for as little as $1 a month, you'll get access to all of our episodes. You'll get some stuff a couple of days early when it releases. So instead of on a Monday, you'll get it on a Friday, which is probably the it's a more likely way to get the episode, because I keep forgetting that we release things on a Monday and then uploading it at 7 o'clock at night. So shit, it's Monday.
That's the thing that normally reminds you is the fact that someone complains that Story Lords hasn't been released yet.
Yeah,
and you're like, shit, we released on the same day as Story Lords.
So thank you to Story Lords for not uploading early as well.
That's okay. I'll thank you on behalf of Jeff. But supporting us is a way to get access to the Discord and suggest prompts for the show. They're not prompts, they're suggestions for things we should watch. Kind of prompts.
Yeah, we don't have a prompt bot. We have a suggestoid. But like, we really like it when people suggest things and a theme for us to watch. Because the shows stay on their radar, but they'll quickly fall off if we don't have anything to pair it with. Yeah. So suggesting themes for the show is a really good one. Okay, I think that's it, right? I think that's an episode. That was quite fun.
We've got to decide on because next time we're doing fighting games.
We are doing fighting games next.
We need a prompt for the week after. Should we do Titan AE and Treasure Planet? Because I know you hate Treasure Planet, and you made me watch Ratatouing.
Yeah, maybe it'll grow on me for this rewatch.
I mean, Titan AE, one of the best animated film soundtracks. It's got a really good song by Lit.
Is it one of them like Daft Punk ones? Is it one of those sorts of things?
No, it's like 90s Americana pop metal soundtrack.
Oh, you're not selling it.
It was really good though. Wait a minute, I'm gonna Titan AE soundtrack. I'm gonna tell you some of the bands on it.
Okay.
Lit, Fun Loving Criminals.
Oh yeah.
Jamiroquai's on there.
Yeah, great, fantastic.
Don't know any of the other bands. Bliss 66.
Oh man.
Yeah, but basically the Lit song is the only one that's worth listening to.
So it's a great soundtrack, but there's only one good song on it.
Yeah,
and Jamiroquai's on it.
I remember Titan AE being really good. It's a Don Bluth film.
It is. So, yeah, I think it was the last one, wasn't it?
I think it was. Sadly.
Yeah. It's not like he's dead. He's still around.
Power Man 5000.
Power Man 5000. Jesus Christ.
The Urge. Splashdown.
Oh.
Texas.
Oh,
that's weird. Texas don't really.
No, they don't fit
those
into
other bands.
Yeah,
no. All right, so yeah, we'll do Space Adventures.
Yeah.
You couldn't even think of a decent name for it. Right. So there you go. Fighting games next time. We're doing the Mortal Kombat, I think it's Legends of Scorpion or whatever the fuck it's called.
Something like that.
And the Street Fighter Chun-Li in the shower film.
Yeah. Mortal Kombat!
Which should be good. There was no bloody raw or I don't think there's a Tekken animation, but we're not going to look it up, we don't care. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
there is, but we're not doing it. We're going to do the famous, most famous
everybody knows
fighting games. The ones you played in the arcade in a bowling alley in the 90s, if you were that old.
Yeah.
So, right. So join us next time for that. Thank you for all your emails. They're always welcome. I was disappointed that we got more emails related to Toonhounds on Story Lord's email episode than we had on Toonhounds for the past few weeks. So it's nice to get your emails again. Don't worry about length and stuff like that. Don't apologise. We'll always read them. Yeah. So until next time, please take care of yourselves and each other, and just watch a load of cartoons because they do make you feel better.
Bye.
Bye.